Hello, welcomes back everyone. And Wolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, playing as Vaedren here, my new Imperial agent. And where we last left off, we were doing the introduction part of the series, and we are here now about to leave the Poison Pit Cantina and accept our first covert operation as a part of Imperial Intelligence. Before we begin and leave the cantina proper, as I mentioned at the end of the introduction part of the series, we are going to very briefly go through some of the various UI elements, some of the windows we're going to be constantly opening, and explain some of the various attributes, the abilities we currently have available, and how progression is going to go, basically. So, let's get ourselves underway. I have set up my UI kind of how I like it. Of course, here's our main character at the moment, Vaedren here. Of course, have our character portrait if we mouse over. Gives us an idea of, obviously, our name, our current level, our health. We have, obviously, our health bar here in red as well. If this goes down to 0, we are defeated, we die. And we can get to choose normally either to respawn on the spot or at a nearby medical droid. Normally, the medical droids are located at certain checkpoints on the various maps we'll visit. As an Imperial agent, we have a unique resource known as energy. This starts at 100%, and as we consume various abilities, we will consume energy. Once we get to about 60%, our regeneration goes from about 5 energy per second to 4, then to 3, then to 2. So you have to learn to micromanage your energy consumption. Otherwise, you'll find that you can't use some of your more powerful abilities because you're waiting for your resource to replenish. There is a way to replenish health and energy faster out of combat, using a unique ability to each class. For the agent, it's called Recuperate here. It has its own little kind of unique animation. Each class or each origin has their own. And there are also little toys you can pick up that give you unique or different animations for your out-of-combat replenishment, such as being being devoured by a Sarlacc pit, or finding yourself hooked up to a Colto tank and floating in that cylinder. And we might show a few of those off over time. Of course, we have our target bar here as well, so we can obviously target ourselves and see our opponent's health and if they have a resource, what buffs they may have, similar to what buffs we have currently, and who our target is actually targeting as well, which is quite handy if you're playing maybe as a tanking class, so you can make sure that the opponent's attention is on you rather than the healer or your damage dealers in the party. We have various hotbars here. At the moment, apart from our Recuperate ability, we have 3 abilities. We have a basic rifle shot, which consumes no energy, has a range of 30 meters and deals a minute amount of weapon damage. But we also have the snipe ability. It takes 1.5 seconds to activate, consumes 20 energy, but it deals twice as much damage as our rifle shot. Now, we have another ability, which I've taken off the hotbar, called Take Cover. As you can see, if I activate it here, we actively take cover. And there are also various locations. When we're targeting certain enemies, it may indicate, say, we could roll into cover behind this doorway. And that will give us a slight passive buff to dodging enemy attacks, or increase our defense rating slightly, so we take less damage. That'll become even more powerful, and we'll actually end up getting, I believe, a defensive shield, so when there isn't a bit of cover we can roll behind, we can provide our own defensive shield buffer. But that will be as we level up. So, we also have our experience bar here. We are level 1, but we're already halfway to level 2 through various things I unlocked through my mailbox. We have a mini-map here, which we can also open up to the entirety of the Poison Pit Cantina. Obviously, we have a legend letting us know there's a couple of vendors. There's a quest vendor here and an NPC who has a quest available for us. We have a quick travel node, so we can travel back to the cantina. And since we have our quest here to claim our cover identity, it's actually telling us we need to leave the cantina and head out into Jaguna, this industrial village proper. So if I actually pull up my full map, again, here's the cantina, but we can leave, and here is Jaguna itself. It's a little marketplace here. We have Nemro the Hutt's palace. And of course we have the entirety of Hutta as well, which we can unlock as we explore, and as we get new quests to go into these other regions. But we'll talk more about this a bit later. We can obviously look at the legend as well. The orange or golden icons for quests tend to mean they are side or exploration missions. The purplish quests, like the speaking to Jeek here, are part of the world or class storyline. These are more important quests that you should be trying to follow. So we have our kind of a class window here, which tells us some of our basic attributes for damage, survivability, and support. We can learn more in-depth attributes here. So, for example, mastery really comes down to how much damage or healing you provide. Your endurance is how much health you have, or how much health you regenerate. Power is a complement to your damage or healing. Critical is your chance to not only land a critical hit, but how much bonus damage that critical hit will actually land. Alacrity is how fast some of your abilities activate or recover. Accuracy is self-explanatory. Defense and absorption and shielding are all really down to do with tanking. Obviously how much damage you migrate. And then presence is how effective your companions are. How much damage they deal, how much health your companions have. Since we have no companions currently, even though we do have a presence stat, it's not so important. And then obviously we have a breakdown of our various attributes and how like our stats and how our attributes have affected them. So obviously we have our kind of equipment here. We have our main hand, which is a standard issue sniper rifle here, and an offhand, which is a combat knife or a vibro knife. We have 7 major armor slots. Obviously headpiece, wrist guards, gloves, chest piece. These make up what our various stats actually are, and how our character could look in its default kind of costume or outfit. We also have 1 earpiece, 2 implant slots, a tactical slot, which I think is important for when you're level 75, I think it is. Maybe it's 85. It's been a while. And we have 2 relic slots as well. These can also augment your various attributes and overall give you a total of your item rating. If we go to our outfitter, we can actually give ourselves various different outfits. And these outfits won't affect our stats, but will change our outward character's appearance, which is going to be important as an Imperial agent, as we're going to want to try and fit in with our environs, with our situations. So we are going to probably make use of various outfits. And even though those outfits may not give us any stat benefit, we might fit in a bit better. It's more of a lore thing. So we have our combat style here. At the moment, of course, we are only a sniper, but we get to choose 1 of 3 disciplines. 1 deals with a burst or direct damage. 1 is more hybrid damage, which is a mixture of burst and damage over time. And I think it deals a bit more, some of its unique skills are more useful against groups of enemies. And then we have virulence, which is more damage over time on a single target. We could change discipline path on the fly, but each one does in fact have its own kind of unique abilities as you level up. Not so important at the moment, because until we get to level 15, we're just going to be learning the basic skills anyway. But from level 15 onwards, we can start choosing a unique, oh well, almost unique path to unlocking new skills and augmenting those skills as well, which is actually quite nice, as you can see. And also we can have a look at our various abilities. For example, our snipe here, our basic energy consuming attack. We got it at level 1, and at the moment it's only doing 149 to 157 weapon damage, but that ability will level up with us, and we will actually you'll notice snipe will deal more damage. Let's see. I also need to probably grab my quick travel ability. I'll just stick that somewhere. There you go, that'll do nicely. Don't think there's any other ability I need to grab right now. Oh, rocket boost. We'll grab that as well. Perfect. We have loadouts. Not really going to explain loadouts too much. It'll be important for when we choose our second combat style. Not so important right now. And of course we don't have a companion, so why worry about it? While we're in our gear and such, we can look at our inventory. But we do have a unique inventory page which I'm more used to using. Obviously we have so many basic slots for items we're going to pick up in the world. We have a slot for unique mission items. And of course we have various unique currencies. Most of these are more important for endgame. But some of them, let's see if there's any that jump out at me right now. No. I was wondering if we had any fleet commendations here. When we get a personal starship of our own, we could make use of fleet commendations to purchase some unique upgrades. That's for the future. Right. So what else do we need to mention? Is there any other... Mission log. The mission log and the codex. Kind of important. Conquest is kind of important as well, but we'll talk about that at level 10. So, we have our first mission. Your first mission as an Imperial agent brings you to Hutta. Your handler keeper has ordered you to assume a covert identity and convince Nemro to Hutta ally with the Empire. Your first step to achieving this task is to contact Jeeg, an Imperial asset in the town of Jaguna. He will brief you on your cover. Meet Jeeg at his safe house. Okay, not a problem. Oh, thank you for the heal. And of course we'll get so many credits, so much experience. And of course we'll actually gain a green rarity sniper rifle, which you can see from the tooltip, from the green text. Those are the extra stats we'll get. So this Hutt Battle sniper rifle is a much better sniper rifle than the one we currently have. Certainly important. And this experience, 1500. We only need another 400 to actually level up, so we're certainly going to get level 2, maybe even level 3, just from completing this first quest. But of course we have this codex entry. First of all, on Keeper himself, our handler for this mission. The individual designated Keeper is charged with overseeing the Operations Division of Imperial Intelligence. It is Keeper who approves every infiltration into enemy territory, every execution of an enemy of the state, and it is Keeper who selects agents worthy of further training and advancement through the ranks. Keeper reports to the Minister of Intelligence, who reports directly to the Dark Council. This effectively puts the Keeper one step away from the absolute highest position any non-Sith can achieve within the Empire. He is a very important man. Of course, if too many operations fail, it'll be his head that'll probably be on the chopping block first. But he has a very privileged position. And we were probably very lucky to have him as our handler. So, let's go meet this Jeeg, shall we? I don't think there's anything else we need to do right now. Let's have a just quick look here at the various tooltips, if there's any other windows that we should be opening right now. I don't believe so. Okay. So sometimes you'll see like people we can interact with and like names and certain colours of names as well. As you can see, blue tends to be other players who are just kind of appearing here, doing their own thing, while we are here as an Imperial agent. Fellow agents and bounty hunters spend their time on Hutta for their prologue world. We have Tau Kadera. Very interesting. We have like a Gianna here, who does have a quest, but she's not quite ready to give it to us. And we have this bounty droid that would like our attention.
I can spare a minute. I'll see what I can do.
So we are trying to ingratiate yourself with Nemro's inner circle. And of course Nemro himself has put out a bounty on the cowardly Fafra and his folks within Jaguna. A little quick travel node here. Okay, let's get ourselves out of the cantina itself. We have Nemro's palace. As you can see, we have our first targets in red in the distance there. These are some of the gangsters that we need to deal with. Obviously, we have a a new quest here in our quest log. Yeah, bounty has been put on Fafra's gang members by Nemro the Hutt. We'll gain so much experience. We get some gloves, which we're not currently wearing, and a minor med pack, which actually might be rather handy. So, if we target one of these people, as you can see, sometimes an outline will appear that we can use to take cover. When you see the little green shield, it means we're in cover from those enemies. If this gangster, say, was to move over here, we wouldn't then have the dodge bonus, because he would have line of sight on us. Oh, they're all within 30 meters right now. That's unfortunate for them. Level 2 already. Very nice. Oh, and there we are. We have our first loot drops. The color of the beam jumping out of the enemy's bodies is important. Light blue tends to mean it's kind of vendor trash. There is a dark blue, which is like the lowest rarity, followed by green, followed by purple, and then finally you have like orange and gold. Gold tends to mean there are quest items to pick up from that body. Say if Nemro wanted us to, I don't know, bring in so many of Fafra's gangsters' ears as proof of our killing of them, then their ears would be counted, would probably be classed as a mission item until we handed them over to a certain NPC for our reward. So remember, we've got to act as a pirate. We're going to be taking on a role. Let's try to learn more about this cover identity, shall we?
Acrodonomales, smogas total gisbabo apiatai.
I'm listening. Continue.
Vataranai angomis akananorm, alas protas era. Gratai aptikte, iruprit vertini savasia savebe kaigis.
If there's another red blade out there, won't that be a problem?
Small sio poputus mana ira padare mana nan kali. Vataranai angomis akananorm, alas protas era.
What kind of interference?
Acrodonomales, Smogas total gisbavo apiatai. Graitai aptikte. Iruprit vertini savasia sa vebe kaijis.
Let's make this fast and quiet then.
Atrodo normales. Smogas total gisbavo apiatai. Vataranai angomis akananorm. Alas protas era.
Okay, a small-time pirate known as the Red Blade. And no one, thankfully, knows his true identity. So it's a very plausible cover we could use. Unfortunately, to get into Nemro's good graces, we were meant to bring some gifts as tribute. And those gifts were taken from the spaceport. Oh. Fellow agent there shot him in the back. So, the gangsters are meant to be hiding here. There we are. And we actually completed our side mission to deal with the Phosphorus gangsters. Excellent. And equip these gloves. We need to keep eyes out for the various thieves and retrieve our tribute. We have our first bonus mission. Some quests will actually have a bonus. These won't always give you great rewards, but some bonus missions actually chain and give you extra experience, extra credits. Mostly gives you something extra to do as well as you're exploring the various worlds. Yep. And this is our tribute. Thank you. Let's see what's there. Gifts for Nemro, but it doesn't specify what sort of gifts. No matter. As long as it gets us into Nemro's good graces.
Sio taisek la prasma era. Padra vimos brandimus prostis cad atveretag.
What exactly are these gifts?
Graitai aptikte. Iruprit vertini savasia sa vebe kaijis. Vataranai angomis akananorm. Alas protas era.
Jig, from this point forward, operational security will be at a premium. You will not contact us from this terminal again.
Smal sio popudus mana ira padare mana nan kali.
I understand you corrected Jig's mishandling of the situation, Agent. We'll now proceed.
Acknowledged and understood.
Your next task is to access Nemro's inner circle. Present yourself to the Hutt as a fellow gangster, the Red Blade, and offer him Jig's gifts. One of the gifts is implanted with a listening device, which we will use to monitor conversations within Nemro's palace.
Are you listening for something specific?
At this juncture, our primary goal is to find weaknesses in Nemro's organization. Even if the Hutt won't join us, we might influence his lieutenants. Talk to Nemro and his men. Determine who we can turn and how we can sway them. We will be listening.
I'll be back once I learn anything.
Be careful what you say. And lose the accent. When you're in the Hutt Palace, you're no longer an Imperial. Contact me from the cantina once Nemro has his presence. Keep her out.
And I like that the agent actually does lose their accent as well. As we'll discover. So, gain a new sniper rifle for our trouble. Do we have an entry on the Red Blade? Not as of yet. No doubt we will likely gain a Codex entry. Suffice to say, the Red Blade has a unique armor set. One I actually have. I also have the helmet, but for the sake of for the game itself and for dialogue and such, we're not going to actually put the helmet on. Suffice to say, it is available, and that's kind of what it looks like. Well, let's go introduce ourselves to Nemro the Hutt and see what he thinks of our gifts. If we head back to the Poison Pit Cantina, there are a couple of quests we could pick up. They are slightly more aligned with playing as a bounty hunter and earning the credits. Though you could pick them up as an Imperial agent as well, I shall admit it. But let's get ourselves into the palace.
The pirate's on his way. Security droids say he's armed, but he won't be trouble.
Let's hope not. Here he is now.
I'll go tell the boss.
This is Carol's. Tell the throne room that the Blades arrived. When Nemro shows, stay at least 5 meters back and don't come up unless you're called. One wrong move, and you're a pile of ash.
You worried I'm gonna cause trouble?
Just going over the rules. You've got a reputation, and we don't want any problems. Allow me to present Nemro the Hutt, the illustrious crime king of Jaguna.
Kutsinanchie Jatongi ma Kechu. Chiliska tananga ime chaijo ronchika. Dodi buna buna manchika bog nonis nemo.
Trinkets, great Nemro, nothing more.
Kavadompa stupa makinsarika.
Not bad. Nemro, the idols here are real orodium. The cloth looks like...
Manama asha picho. Kipuna malituta odmishka kabano tasema. Ki ubakiri wata bangi danko batoga wata.
I'm very grateful. You got quite a place here.
Hai jibanara. Ye kubajiji. Goting. Noli makichisa.
Kikuna mo. Uban chone alipa. Istin koto.
Conchuta. Kasu yali koira tokanti kong.
Looks like your audience with Nemro is over. You'll have to forgive the interruption. I've been working for that Hutt since he killed my gang when I was 13. Trust me, you can't talk to him when he's like this.
What's all this about Fathra?
We're having trouble with the Fathra clan, and it's getting to all of us. Fathra's out of line, but the Hutt Cartel hasn't bothered to interfere.
So it's a business dispute. What are you feuding over?
Everything. The mines, the factories, the slaving operations. Now look, I need to work up new plans with security, and keep an eye on Tothelshan to keep him from suggesting anything stupid. In the meantime, you're a guest, and you've got our permission to do business here. You got the run of the palace, so I'll see you around.
Interesting. And so our gifts were accepted. In fact, so much so we're now free to do business within Nemro's palace and enjoy the opulence and splendor that he has available. Unfortunately, this dispute with Fathra and the situation between them and the Hutt Cartel is certainly something to keep an eye on. Let's go enjoy the wonders of this suite Nemro has prepared for us and see what we can learn from that listening device. Of course, first things first, let's make sure we're not going to be overheard. Search for any planted devices. Well, there's one. Oh, there's a second within the desk lamp itself. Huh. They planted one within one of the liquor bottles as well. Shame we can't actually activate the door panel here. Otherwise, anyone passing by might be able to see what the situation is, but we'll just have to pretend.
Well done, Agent. The listening device is working perfectly, and Nemro can keep no more secrets from us. Imperial Intelligence has determined that Nemro's human lieutenant, Carlos Jarvis, is the weak link in his operation. You're going to twist the man until he serves us.
I don't see it. He didn't seem particularly disloyal.
Carlos has advised the Hutt for many years, and he's sympathetic towards the Empire. He admires our efficiency, and he prefers humans in authority. He'll do for our purposes. Unfortunately, Carroll's is on the verge of disfavor with Nemro, while the Twi'lek Lieutenant Tothelshan, I believe, is Nemro's rising star. I want you to go to Carroll's and offer your services as the Red Blade. Do whatever is required to bring Carroll's glory in Nemro's eyes.
What does Nemro have against Carroll's?
Carroll's work has been suffering due to the interference of the Fathra clan. Nemro finds that an unacceptable excuse for failure. One other thing, Agent. This operation of ours has drawn the attention of a member of the Dark Council, Darth Jadus himself. The Council's authority is second only to that of the Emperor. It's a rare honor for an intelligence operation to be overseen in this way.
With all due respect, what does the Dark Council care about Hutta? This operation isn't exactly a threat to the Sith.
I don't know why Lord Jadus is interested. Nor is it our concern. The Sith aren't obligated to share their reasons. Report back once you've rendered whatever aid Carols requires. Keep her out.
Huh. Interesting. Somehow, we've gained the attention of a Dark Council member, Darth Jadis. Oh, we gained our next chest piece here. Very good. And we reached level 4, which actually unlocked our next ability, the Fragmentation Grenade, which deals a fair amount of kinetic damage to one target, and then half damage to 7 standard or weak enemies within 5 meters of that target. Very useful. A very powerful ability, especially early on. It also has a very short cooldown. Interesting. Okay, let's look at our codex again, shall we? We have a codex entry on Nemro the Hutt. When a Hutt reaches the pinnacle of his career, it is his right and privilege to let his mind and body atrophy, to turn away from menial concerns, and to strictly indulge in his appetites. So it has gone with Nemro. Decades ago, he was a scheming and ambitious leader amongst the gangs of Jaguna. Block by block, factory by factory, he took control through brutality, blackmail, and sheer business savvy. He paid his henchmen handsomely and overthrew Jaguna's previous ruler in a bloody coup. He never did get rid of the competing gangs, he just cowed them and demanded a share of their profits. Now, comfortable and confident, Nemro is free to let his lieutenants run the show, while he concentrates on what makes life truly worth living. Food, arena fights, and reveling in the respect of his peers. Only the rise of Fafra, a upstart Hutt, and would-be rival, threatens to force his attention back to business affairs. And obviously we know Fafra has been causing Nemro's lieutenant, Carols, a bit of trouble. If we can deal a blow or two to Fafra, then we can probably get Nemro's opinion of his lieutenant to rise once again, and then we can influence Nemro's opinion maybe of the Empire. So is the plan. Either way, we'll take a break here. Thank you for joining me once again with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, and when we come back, we'll leave our suite and go see what opportunities to gain Carols' favour, and therefore Nemro's favour, may present themselves. As always, feel free to leave a comment if you so wish, and hopefully I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, no, take care. Bye-bye now.